All right. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We are the Awaken Her Collective, and we want to discuss tonight. We want to talk a little bit about the event that we had, the Awaken Her event that we had for the workshop that we did in June, and then talk about the one that's coming up in August. So in June, we had a wonderful event. We had several women come out. They're still talking about it. It was great. You know, we had yoga, we had some energy healing, we talked about herbs, and talked about how women should take a pause, and how it's okay to say no. So we talked about all of that in the workshop. We did all the activities. It was great. It was wonderful. A lot of feedback. Oh, and of course the drum circle. Can't leave that out.
No.
Yes, because that was, I think, one of the favorite things about that event. So we're gonna all come together again in August and do it again, August 16th. I hope that you all will be able to come. We've got tickets on Eventbrite, so you can contact any of us or go to Eventbrite to purchase tickets.
Yes, yes, I'm looking forward to it for
Me
sure.
too, yes.
So, of course, it's going to be in the same place here in Harrodsburg at this beautiful establishment at Herbal Creations. So I want to uh, we're just going to talk about some information regards to our next workshop. Gonna look at taking a deeper dive. So are you ladies ready?
We're ready to talk.
Absolutely.
All right. So I am just going to first start with you, Linda.
Okay.
The first question is, when a woman decides to become a thought rebel and step away from the stories gifted to her is so crazy as if it's supposed to be a gift. She often faces a lot of fear about disrupting her relationships. How can she navigate that fear of disappointing others as she begins to rewrite her own story?
Well, I think I'll start with the definition that I work with for a thought rebel,
Mhm.
which is one of my personas, is it's someone who has lived past the outdated stories
Mhm.
and the ones that no longer serve her. So the first thing, you're going to have disruptions in relationships. It's going to happen because you're changing and people want to see you the way you've always been.
Mhm.
But the way you've always been may not serve you anymore. So it's looking at the relationship and whether that relationship is going to be able to be modified, whether you're willing to put up with the modification, or whether it has to be left behind. And
Mhm.
those are very individual questions that have to be looked at. There is a little bit of bravery that is involved in that process.
That's true.
But there's also has to be a lot of honesty.
Mhm.
So I've had clients who have looked at the relationship and said, well, it needs a modification, but have been afraid to ask the question to modify it of
Mhm.
whoever they're in a relationship with. And once they asked the question, they found out that it was them holding them back,
Mhm.
not the other person.
Mhm.
Other times, it's a line that has been crossed that can never be taken back.
Mhm.
It's very, very individual, but it's if you have reached that point where you know that something has to change,
Mhm.
then you have no choice
Mhm. That's
but to
true.
work on changing it.
Yeah.
That's so true.
That is so
And
true.
it may be terrifying, or it may just be a huge relief that you've gotten past that point.
Mhm. Yeah. That's very true. I know a friend of mine who actually has started to take more time for herself because, of course, we are given those stories like you are a mother, you
Mhm.
are a wife, you know, your priority is everybody else and not yourself.
Right.
And people were having outside, like her outside family was having a hard time actually accepting the new her.
Hmm.
And so I was just telling her,
Yeah.
You can either be miserable and please them, or they can be miserable and you're happy.
Right.
You're doing it for
Right.
yourself.
And the very first word you need to learn is no.
Yes, I love that word.
And it doesn't require a 3-paragraph explanation as to why it's
Right.
no.
Mhm.
But we've been trained that it does, because
Mhm.
obviously, if we can't do something for somebody else, there has to be an excuse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we've gotten so comfortable or kind of programmed to giving an excuse because we don't want to hurt other people's feelings.
Right.
I mean, have y'all?
Yeah.
Have
Oh
y'all-
yeah.
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 So yeah. I mean, I know even for myself, like sometimes I still will say that. So for anybody who was here in June, one of the things was that I mainly said was no, like
No.
without question, put a
Right.
little attitude to it. I don't care. Like shimmy with
Yeah.
it.
Right.
Hey,
And the
yes.
fact of the matter is that it's 99% of the time it's just accepted.
Yes.
And the story about how it won't be accepted is
In our in our own.
in here.
Yeah.
Very, very, very true. So very true. So, all right, Shalonda. For a woman who constantly carries tension, anxiety, or stress in her body, how can gentle somatic movement help her physically release the emotional blockages and old trauma she has been holding on to for years?
Well, gentle somatic poses help send a signal to your um, brain that says, get out of fight or flight.
Mm-hmm.
You can rest now. So you can move into different poses, hold the poses, typically up to 5 to maybe even 10 minutes. Once you get a rhythm of a flow that you can move in those different poses and hold them for a while, you get that signal to the brain that says, you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to get out of fight or flight. You can you can also do that in your daily life when you are not in a yoga flow, maybe sitting at a red light, remind yourself, relax the shoulders,
Mm-hmm.
relax the jaw,
Mm-hmm.
let the tongue come from the roof of the mouth, take a deep breath. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even a long hum on your way into work. Humming signals that vagus nerve. Again, it's okay. It sends those signals, those little vibrations, sends those signals to the vagus nerve
Mm-hmm.
that I can get out of fight or flight.
Yes. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. And somatic yoga are very easy poses.
Very easy poses, not anything strenuous that you have to be all. Typically, you're going to be on the floor for those somatic poses, not anything you're going to, have to hold one leg
Right.
in the air or anything. Although, in a flow with me every now and then, we might do that. But the somatic poses that are going to calm your nervous system, release those emotional tensions that you've been carrying around, are those movements that you will make in connection with the floor, the ground, and hold them for quite some time.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, holding a pose for a long time. I remember during the workshop in June, the last pose that you had the ladies held, to be still. I think even for myself was probably the hardest because you're having to be still.
Just stillness, yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's, we're just so used to moving, going, going, going.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing that yoga reminds me of, that it's okay to sit still.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yes, the final pose in most every flow is your savasana, where you just lie in stillness. And it gives you that opportunity to just release it all. your mind may be wandering, and that's okay, but your body is still in a deep state that is a lot like your REM sleep, which is very important to get for renewal of, memories and cell renewal and all kinds of things. So it's so good to finish your yoga flow with that savasana of just stillness.
That's beautiful. I love that. Definitely. All right, Diane. If a woman wants to transition to a more natural, holistic lifestyle to honor her body, but feels overwhelmed by where to start, what foundational herbs or daily wellness solutions do you suggest she introduce first?
So there are many herbs that can help with that. So, I have the cortisol calm tincture that I just created. It can help with that. I know one of the popular herbs out now that you see on the shelves in the stores now, in Walmart and everywhere, is ashwagandha. And a lot of people like that. Some people say it works a little too good. Just to kind of, some people say that, they kind of don't care about anything while they're on ashwagandha. But if you take it properly, for the most part, it can be very helpful. That was one of the herbs that I started with, was ashwagandha. And it really helped just kind of keep me calm. And the hormonal harmony herbs that I put in that, those are herbs that are for women. I have had people say that it helps to regulate their hormones to where they can focus on other things because their hormones are raging and they're going through menopause and things like that. So when they take that, they can calm down and focus on other things. So those are some of the things that I have, that can help you get started. And then, and just taking the time to do that for yourself is the first step, taking time to do the herbs, because some people, you don't just buy it and then leave it on the shelf. Like, take the time to actually to do it, do that for yourself.
Yes. Yeah, I think that was kind of a topic that we talked about before, was when people come in and they, purchase their herbs, they expect immediate remedies. And it's like nothing in life is just happens that fast. Everything takes some time. I mean, just like yoga, it takes time. It takes time for you to actually be able to lay still and quiet your mind and not, have those for 5 minutes. Oh my goodness, can be the longest time to lay still, and to let all of the thoughts, I gotta cook, I gotta clean. Oh my goodness, I didn't do the laundry. Did I turn the dryer off? Did I turn the boiled eggs off? Because I just did that this week. So
I turned the cane sugar syrup off.
yeah. I mean, how many of us, like, because we're just going, will forget to do those little bitty simple things, and it's just like, okay, we have to actually slow down. So the 5 minutes of savasana,
Yes.
actually, is like a helping point to get us to actually slow down a whole lot more. So I think the cortisol tincture was definitely be good,
I
because
take it every day.
see, I mean, because hey, when those levels go up, it's in there.
Yeah, I take it every day, and I take the hormone harmony every day too. Yeah, I don't just sell the stuff. I take it. I use it.
So are you making a tea with it every day?
No, I use the tincture.
Okay.
I use the tincture. Yeah, I do make tea. I drink tea every day too. But yeah, I have the tinctures that I take every day, and they are beneficial. They have helped me a lot. And sometimes when I'm going through something, it's specific right then and there. It's like, okay, let me go get me some ashwagandha or whatever, and and it helps.
I've taken ashwagandha, and it definitely helps regulate,
Mhm.
you know, a little bit more my moods. Because we're still human,
Yeah.
regardless of the
Yeah.
fact.
It certainly helps with transition.
Hmm.
Um, there should come a time when you know how to do that for yourself and you have those skills. But while you're learning the skills,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, there are some self-regulating skills
Yes.
that you want to eventually arrive at.
Mhm.
Yes.
Right.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's
Okay, so Chanel, for a woman who has worn the strong woman armor and acted as the pillar for everyone else, putting down the weight can feel terrifying. How can she safely let go of over functioning without feeling like everything around her is going to break?
true. Well, I have to say is one, you have to just put things down. Um, because if you don't and you fall apart yourself, um, whether it's mentally, physically, um, all of the things that you do, uh, being the homemaker, work, um, you know, taking care of outside things and not taking care of yourself, all that stuff is still going to be there. Because there's not going to be some magical fairy that's gonna that's gonna swoop in and do your laundry for you.
Yeah.
Because if they were, then
No.
my laundry would be done and I wouldn't have to be worried about doing it. But I think as far as not being scared to put down the armor, you have to have faith in yourself that you can just do it and that you can just be comfortable enough to do that.
Mhm.
Um, and not continue to like hold on to all of the labels that the world, the outside world has given to you. Um, I think mostly, even I think about that for myself, is that I was like, you know, this superhero woman and, you know, had a capital C on my chest, um, you know, but it's not really like a big badge of honor, you know, when inside you're
Yeah.
like hurting inside or
Mhm.
you're, you know, people want to say you're dying inside. And in actuality, you basically are
Mhm.
because you're not honoring your truth. You are not being aware of the strain and the stress that you're causing on your body by not taking care of yourself and by being at everybody else's beck and call.
Mhm.
So you really are technically dying inside,
Mhm.
you know, and then you don't know until you have worn this heavy armor for so long that you the illnesses are already there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, so if you want to be able to be there for other people, you have to set the armor down to
Mhm.
be able to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe you can only put it down for a minute when you start.
Yeah,
And the next time you can do it for 5 minutes.
That's
and
right.
then do that break and
That's
take
right.
the 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Then the next, you keep going and the
Mhm.
times get longer and longer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that helps with the terror.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
So
I
at
only
the-
have to do it for a minute.
Mhm.
At the workshop, we'll work on tools that we can keep in our toolbox so that
Yep.
we can get there, get
Yeah.
to that 1st
Mhm.
minute and get to that
Yep.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the you know the first couple of times of you actually putting stuff down and walking away from it, just like telling a person no, like that's where that anxiety comes from because you yourself are changing. You're doing something that's completely different that is out
Right.
of character for
Mhm.
yourself because you're so used to telling everybody yes.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
when you tell people no, it's like, oh, what did I do?
I have to come
Yeah.
up with a reason
Yeah.
why I said
Right.
this.
And then you feel
Yeah.
guilty.
Yes.
You feel
There's a
guilty.
very nice phrase, and it's, I'm sorry that won't work for me right now.
Hmm. Yeah, and stick to it.
Yeah.
I mean, and the more you say it, The
Mhm.
more comfortable it gets,
Yep.
and you can just, just put it on your t-shirt and turn around and show people you don't have to say it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And, as the first time you're terrified the sky's going to fall on your head.
Mhm,
The second time you're checking.
mhm,
The third time it's like, oh, it didn't fall.
mhm.
Right. And you just keep going. And it's like any other skill. You build up the skill, you build up the muscles,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? And you just keep going.
Yeah, that is true. That is
Mhm.
very true.
All right, so now we have a collective question for all of us, and that is what's one single important truth a woman needs to hold on to as she takes the first step to awakening? Anybody?
I'm gonna say determination, um, because you have to. Unfortunately, people don't go to a doctor until it's gotten to the point where it's so bad that they can't tolerate it.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to get to a point where it's gotten so bad to where you're just like, okay, I need this for myself. So I'm going to say determination.
Okay.
I'm going to say finally hitting the point where you say, I am worthy.
Mhm.
If you don't believe that you are worth
Mm-hmm.
putting yourself first and
Mhm.
making time for yourself,
Yeah.
you're not going to do it.
Mhm.
You may do it for a little while and then you're going to stop.
Yeah.
So there has to be that sense of, I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing it because something's wrong in the relationship or whatever. I'm doing it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And through the determination and knowing you're worthy,
Mhm.
you've got to be ready.
Yes.
And once you're ready, it's time. It's
Yeah.
time to
Yeah.
pick up those tools and prepare yourself to
Mm-hmm.
be awakened.
Right.
Yeah.
It's that point. There's a line that folks cross, and that is, I can't do this anymore.
Anymore. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can't go back from that line. You can try. Not going to happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I piggyback on to your answer because that would have been, what I would have said. You have to feel like you're worthy because there's so many things in this society, in the things that we've learned in our lives that tell us that we're not worthy
Mhm.
and that we have to put everything and everybody else ahead of us. And that can be very challenging for a woman to understand. And we think that, having self-worth and feeling like we're worthy is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to learn that it's not wrong. You have to have that. You have to do that. You can't take care of anyone else if you don't take care of yourself first. So you have to understand that self-worth is very important and that's going to be, the first step is to understand and realize, okay, I am worthy. And then having the, deciding I'm ready and then having the determination.
Yeah.
All of that goes hand in hand. And it's not an easy thing, but it is very worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
And you turn it, you realize that, man, this life is good.
Life is good.
Life is, yeah.
And
Yeah.
as we go deeper in this series of workshops, we're going to help you build up those muscles.
Yeah. Yes, life is good. And that doesn't mean that we have it all together. And it doesn't mean that everything's always perfect. But we know the tools and we know the things to do to keep things,
Right.
where they need to be and to maintain that self-worth and to maintain that stride on that journey. Keep going.
Yeah.
You're still breathing. There's going to be challenges.
Anybody want to close us out?
I'll close this by saying I invite you all to come enjoy the workshop. Build community with us, build community with each other. Because when you build that community and when you have that support system, it I won't say it's easy, but carrying that load with a sister on your side is so much better than carrying it alone. And we're all here and we're inviting you to be here with our community and be awakened. Yes, to what you can do and to where you can bring yourself through, what you can bring yourself through.
So Sunday, August the 16th, 2 p.m., we will have another Awaken Her workshop. And we invite those who came before, and we invite you to bring a friend, and just want everybody to come. It'll be, a different lesson every time we do it. So don't think it's going to be redundant. We'll have more information and different information, and it's going to be fun, just like the first one was fun. I imagine they're going to be getting better and better every time.
Yes.
All right, we good?
Have a good night,
Thank you.
friends.
Have a
All
good
right,
night.
thank y'all for listening.